very excited for opening day. Just you really tell us the science behind your decision with the opening weekend rotation.
Well, I think they earned it. I think we were fortunate to have others that could have been in that conversation too. So it's good to have depth, but our starting rotation, there's a reason Colby it came back, and we wanted him back and excited about it, and wanted him to experience this and putting those pinstripes on Friday night. And I certainly trust him and know what he's going to go out there and give to this program every time he gets on the mound. And Graydon, last year weekend starter, and he's continuing to grow and improve. So it's just kind of natural that he, in my opinion, falls to that slot. And then McCarty. Man, he's looked really good. He's come back, battled through some adversity, and dealing with some injuries last year, and he's earned the opportunity to get the ball this Sunday.
For a guy like McCarty, you mentioned minimal appearances last year. Tell me about the fight you saw specifically, right? I mean, to come back from 5 appearances to Sunday starter, right?
Well, just a testament to him. He stayed with it. He stayed the fight. Last year was tough. It was tough on him. Emotionally, mentally, because, he wanted it so bad, and he just never quite, felt maybe great physically, and then mentally just trying, that made it hard for things to line up. But, he battled through it, man, and he's earned everything that he's gotten to this point and stuff. So I couldn't be more happy for him, because somebody that deserves it, he certainly does. And, because there's never a guarantee, man. When you get after an injury and stuff, do you get back to your form? And you got to hope you can, but a lot of times, it might take a little longer than we anticipate sometimes.
Coach, can you speak a little bit to the process and the value of seeing premium arms right out of the gate?
Sure. I mean, this is a great program, and we knew it when we scheduled it a few years ago. A lot of respect for Coach Checketts and that program and what they've done there. So it's fun. You're going to always want to try to beef up your 4 non-conference weekends, and at least, hopefully 2 or 3 of those are going to be really, really challenging and stuff. And to be able to get an opponent like them to come here this year, it was a no-brainer to go for that. And they got great arms. I mean, that's well advertised. They do a good job with it, and I think we do too. And so it should give a good matchup and a good opening weekend, opening of the season, top 25 matchup type feel. So I know they're going to be ready for it, and I know we will be too.
Do you think this is one of the potentially best starting rotations that you see all season?
Could very well be. Yeah, as advertised, we'll see, when the dust settles, but we know that, that's a strength of theirs for sure. So we're going to have our work cut out for us, and, we got to try to match it, whatever that means. And, so we're going to face a lot of good arms this year. And for us to get to where we want to get, you're going to have to beat good arms. And, it's not ever easy. And, as much as we'd love to jump out and score 10 runs, I don't know if that'll happen, but, I hope it does. But we're just going to have to go out there and compete hard and play each aspect of the game.
You guys obviously enter the season with a lot of preseason expectations. A lot of the players, and you guys say it's just preseason stuff. But when you have that much praise and stuff, tell me what you're seeing from the guys that kind of keeps you cautiously optimistic that it's not going to anybody's head, right?
Well, we don't allow it, because we constantly, discuss and talk about those things. What can we control? We can control our how we think, how we, our perception and stuff like that. And, we don't drink that Kool-Aid. We know that that's more of a program recognition. This team hadn't earned anything yet. Well, let's talk about this, 6 months from now. And stuff. So, we just try to keep them very guided and, down the right path. And, in this day and age with social media and all that stuff, I said, man, stay away from it. It don't matter. It's not going to help you hit that fastball. It's not going to help you make that pitch. And we just got to stay kind of true to what we are and stuff. And proud of the recognition the program's getting, no doubt about it. And but for us, it's one pitch, one out, one inning at a time.
Y'all started out early with tough opponents last year with TCU at their place. Y'all kind of harken back to that with your guys, just as we've been down this road before.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, we play tough schedules, and this is a tough opponent, and this could be a series you look back on, down the road that could be significant for both clubs and stuff. So yeah, I mean it's a good opponent. These guys know it. I mean they don't need they don't need us telling them that hey, get ready, for a tough challenge and stuff. But the game of baseball, and I've said it many times, and I really believe this, that it doesn't matter who you're playing. If you don't play a good game, if you don't pitch it well, if you don't hit it well, if you don't defend it well, you got a great chance of losing. So you got to play a good game regardless of who you're playing. You got to play a clean game regardless of who you're playing to have a chance to win. So we look forward to going out opening weekend. Man, you learn a lot about your team, and you can practice all you want, scrimmage all you want, but ultimately once the live bullets start flying, you get to see a little bit more.
Last week is my first time talking to Ty Long, and I noticed the energy. Tell me what you see with his energy, and maybe how his youth could help this veteran lineup.
Yeah, Ty's Ty. He's very he's very confident. He's very comfortable with himself. He's fun. Everybody loves him. He works his tail off. He's a competitor, but he has fun doing it. And I think he keeps things light, but he's got a big, serious component to him as well. And he wants to be successful. He wants this team to win. He wants things to go the way we want it to go. And but no, his personality is very infectious. He's a tremendous young man that his peers think a lot of too in the leadership role. So we're thankful he's here, and I look forward to watching how this season unfolds for him.
Coach, it's early, obviously. You got your 3 starters for your weekend. I know there are a lot of moving parts, more so this year than maybe years in the past. How do you feel about your bridge pieces, your matchup guys, and then maybe your monsters on the back end? You feel good with that?
I do. Me and Coach Leger, we've talked a lot, been going over scenarios of who, where, putting the pieces together, and we certainly feel like we have a lot of options, and that's a comforting feeling. Now, the hard part with that, when you have a lot of options, is, especially with me, I always believe there's a right answer. Where do they go? And you just want to make sure you're doing that right, and I think that'll take a little bit of time as we go, and you just watch how some of these young men handle this situation or that situation, who needs a clean inning, who can handle inheriting runners, stuff like that. So, but the numbers, the quantity, the bodies are there. There's no doubt about it. The stuff's there, and so it's going to be fun watching it all just kind of settle in, and we find that rhythm with it. And and much as I'd like for us to know that rhythm right now, I don't think that's realistic. Not when you have the quantity we have and some new ones and stuff like that. But very excited about the prospects of what this bullpen could do.
Their arms are obviously well documented from our conversation, but could you kind of touch on what you expect from them as an offensive club?
Yeah, they look like they've got several guys back from last year's team that was a good team. Added some good portal pieces. Looks like they added some age, maybe some offensive thump, some slug, and stuff. So to me, it looks like it's going to be a pretty balanced lineup. 1 through 9, you're going to have to earn it. And I can't speak. It's hard when you watch video versus seeing it in person. But I know this: we have a tremendous amount of respect for them, and know that we're going to have to throw the ball really well to keep it close and do the things that we need to do to help win this game tomorrow or the series this weekend. But no, to me it looks like a group that I would, if I had to guess, that they like their team, and so I think it's going to be a battle.
I'm curious too. Cross is one of the more experienced arms you have on this roster. Been here for so long. How do you kind of view on using him this year, just with his experience?
Had a great conversation with him the other day and said, son, you've thrown 200 innings here and you've done it in many roles and you've done it well, and I trust you 100%. Whether that means getting the ball to start, whether it means coming in to get us out of a jam, to get a 3-inning save or whatever it is. I said, who cares? Let's just go collect outs. And he said, yes, sir, let's go. He's had a great time here, experience here, and he wants to end it on as positive note as he can. So he's ready to do whatever he's got to do for this team.
J.W. Armistead really coming along this spring, looked really good with this stuff. What role do you see him to play?
I think he could be one of those weapons in that 7th, 8th, 9th inning role. It's a different look. It's got stuff. It's his turn. It's his time. We brought him here for a reason a couple years ago, and just wasn't quite healthy. Last year didn't feel great. Came back this fall, and finally, and he said it from day one. He said, "Man, Coach, I finally feel good. I finally feel healthy." And we've seen it. So he looks like he has positioned himself to have a chance to be a significant role in that. That last 3 innings of the ball game, spots.
As your hands in with the pitching, always has been. You're an older team, but there are some young arms that could see the field for the first time in this atmosphere this weekend. Kind of, what's your message and your expectation of those guys? It's kind of like you just let them go out there and see what happens, and then dial it in from there.
I could tell them the best speech. I could tell them whatever, and do everything I can to try to calm them. When they get out there, their heart rate's going to be going, rightfully so, and stuff. But to my message to them and our message to them was just embrace it, man. You've earned it. We wouldn't put you out there if we didn't believe you were good enough and you didn't have the ability to do it. So, but don't make more than it is. And I hope that the complex of this staff will allow me not have to, maybe throw them to the wolves too early, and allow them to find some spots to get in there that are less hectic. They're all hectic, right? But they all matter. But hopefully I don't have to bring them in their first time with second and third no outs and getting out of a jam. So, but we're excited to see what some of these young arms can do.
Is there any special things you do before opening day or on opening day you want to share with us? Maybe I know it's a special time.
Me personally, not really, man. I just I kind of just look forward to putting that uniform on and getting in that dugout. That's the biggest thing that's when things slow down. That's when things, I don't know, something comes over me, and it's like you get in a trance a little bit and stuff. So the lead up to everything, this is exciting. The community and people coming in the office and all that, it's awesome. And but it's time. It's time for us to get some rhythm going and put the uni on and get in the dugout. So just look forward to it. Just thankful to get to do that, and that's what we all should feel that way, and I know these guys do.
You busting out the glasses tomorrow?
No, sir. I'm not wearing the glasses. I'll wear these glasses tomorrow, so I don't think you'll see that unless something crazy happens. I'll have to get another eye infection, I guess, for that to happen, but we'll see.